Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Bradley Bombs is dropping.
What it is, Bradley, back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs, folks. But today's episode's a bit special. You can call it maybe one of the best ones probably I'll ever have done. We'll see here, because today in the studio, I've got an individual that you've probably seen. The guy owns several brothels here in Nevada. How many?
I had 7. I just sold one, so I got 6.
6 still.
6-pack.
6-pack of brothels.
540 girls.
If you guys don't know what a brothel is, that's where you go out and investigate the opportunities in the sexual world.
Well, that's a nice way of saying it. You know, it's a
or you go get some pussy.
Exactly. Short-term rental program for sex. Yeah.
He's also the star, or was the star, because I don't know if it's still on, but I remember watching it on HBO. Cat House. Right. Is that over?
14 years. It's still in 67 countries and 29 languages, and I still get big paychecks off of it. So here it's on reruns right now. I also did a series. I produced a series for Cinemax called Working Girls in Bed. And
fantastic. You also wrote a book, Art of the Pimp.
Judith Regan.
See, I almost came out with a book like that. I'm glad I didn't. There already was one. I was going to write Art of the Pimp.
Well, you know.
Now I got to settle for living with a large penis.
Well, that's okay. Just deal with it. You got me my train of thought here. Art of the Pimp. So it's done tongue in cheek, because the last thing I am is a pimp. I'm a businessman. I'm a partner to these girls.
Well, you're a legal businessman.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
you're a legal pimp.
Exactly. But we did it jokingly, because it depends on who's saying it. It's like the N-word. It's who's saying it. Like, I've had the N-word used to me 100 times. 2 Live Crew, Snoop, Little John, Nelly.
Do they all come out there?
Well, I cannot confirm nor deny, Mr. Bradley.
You've got confidential policy
that any celebrity has ever been to the Bunny Ranch. You need to ask.
Well, we know one.
You need to ask, really.
We know one has.
Who, Lamar?
Yeah, Mr. Odom.
Well, you know, the owner of the Lakers and I have been friends forever. The father, Jerry, and I were very close friends, and we partied hard 40 years ago. And Palm Springs a lot. And so, but the son, Johnny, and I are very close. He's the brother I always wanted to have. And so we've been doing it 20 years. Now, you're going to be there. Put this in your calendar. The 12th of October and the 13th. Now, the 12th is the world-famous Cat House Crawl. Starts at the Bunny Ranch, 7 o'clock. The Hell's Kitchen chefs will be there cooking all the food.
Hey, now.
Yeah. Then we move, and an hour later we move to the Kit Kat Ranch. There will be 10 limos moving people back and forth. An hour later, we go to the Love Ranch, which is right next door. An hour later, we go to the Sagebrush Ranch, right next door. Then an hour later, we go to my strip club, Madame Suzette's Red Light Cabaret. So it's just a night of hips, lips. Yep, there's the bomb.
I got to give that a bomb.
Yep, it's not an F-bomb, but it's a bomb.
That sounds like the best crawl. You've heard of pub crawls. This is a brothel crawl.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's a cat house crawl. So
cat house crawl.
Then on the 13th, the owner of the Lakers and I have our joint birthday party. And it's always fun. There's always some entertainment there. You know, you get all our buddies come there and entertain. And over the years, it's, you know, Little John. It's you name it. They've all been there. The guys from Guns N' Roses. Everybody's been to my parties. My parties are legendary. And it's a party you could bring your wife to, because the only thing in the public area you would see is naked girls that have been body painted. And as you know, when they get that body paint on them, it looks like they got clothes on in most cases. Yeah. So that's the only thing that could be offensive to anybody. But now as the party goes on later on at night, then it gets down, and it's a legendary party.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Now, when you said I'll be there, were you just saying hypothetically?
I want you to be there.
Nice.
You're invited. Now, if you don't get an invitation, it's only because you didn't take my business card and email me.
I'll email
so I could lock you in. And just remember, the 12th and 13th, you fly into Reno, the limo picks you up. I'll have you all taken care of. And like you can bring your wife, somebody else's wife, nobody.
The more the merrier?
Yeah, well, it depends on what do you like, threesomes or not. And
see, old Charles, when he seen you first roll in, he came up, he said, dude, make sure you get us a couple of free passes. I said, passes for what? He goes, couple of rides, dog, couple of rides.
Well, it's like a AAA card. You hope you never have to use it. Maybe your wife's doing the right thing. Your girlfriend's ramping it up, and having threesomes with you, trying stuff that her mother told her not to do. But if not, you can always reach in your pocket and you can say, honey, I understand. You probably wouldn't want to do that. It sounds kind of disgusting, but it's something I have to get done. Can I just use my pass at the Bunny Ranch that Dennis gave me? So it's like a AAA card for sex.
Yeah.
Emergency service.
Yeah. You're everybody's buddy, I bet.
Well, I'm a nice guy. I'm a fun guy. I like to have fun, and I got hot girls around me. Worst thing that's going to happen hanging around me is you can get laid a lot. That's the worst thing.
So tell me, now, you probably never heard Dropping Bombs. We just kind of suckered you onto the show.
Well, you're right.
Now hopefully...
But I got to tell you something. You're doing it first class. The building's super. Your lounge is great. The gal promised me Mexican food if I did a good job, so I'm going to work hard for you. I love the studio. Howard Stern wishes he had this. And I mean this sincerely. Most radio guys are in crap facilities. Obviously, you're doing something else besides radio with this to be able to afford it, but it's beautiful in here, and I like it, and I'll come back whenever you want.
Why, thank you. I was going to say, people have heard you on Howard Stern, Adam Carolla, Sean Hannity, Dr. Phil. Like, dude, you're a regular celeb,
Well,
and now you're running for some sort of office, so he's like the Trump of Perump.
Well, that's what Roger Stone said. And Roger Stone's my buddy for a long time. The connection is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson and I have been friends for 25 years. He ended up introducing me to Roger. We became friends. And so Roger came out to support me. And I'm running for office for the legislature. And I'm running in Nevada because I'm tired of the tax. I came to Nevada for freedom. And most of us did. Freedom to carry my gun wherever I want. I left it in the car. I didn't want to bring it in the studio in case you got out of hand. Freedom to bang girls in brothels. Freedom to gamble 24 hours a day. I don't even gamble. Freedom to drink 24 hours a day. I don't drink. Freedom to smoke weed once in a while, but very little. So freedom. And when I saw our freedoms being taken away from us on some Second Amendment issues and taxes, $1.4 billion tax increase, I'm like, screw you, I'm coming for you. So I'd always been an independent. So I went to the Republican Party, said, I'm your guy. And I said, come on. And I'm going to be your rhino hunter, Republican in name only. I'm going to take them out. Because when they raised those taxes, that commerce tax, what happened is there's a margins tax went on the ballot. You and I, everybody voted 80%. No, no, no. It's bad tax. They painted it another color, called it something different, added some benefits. And our Rhino Sandoval, and he got 12 of his Rhino buddies, and 13 of them, excuse me, and they signed this bill. So no, I'm after you. So anybody that ran against somebody that voted for that commerce tax, I gave money. I gave them support. I signed autographs. I signed books. I was there. And so I took out a 3-term incumbent. He runs the PAC for the party. He's a ranking member of the party. And guess what? I took him out. And the world doesn't know what to do about it. It's like Roger Stone told me on the way in here. He says, Dennis, you know what you did? Everybody in Washington is talking about this. It's like you dropped a giant turd in the punch bowl of the Republican Party or the establishment at their Christmas party. I said, great.
Well, someone needs to.
Exactly. Wake the hell up.
Yeah, I think we get railroaded. I don't want to get in a political discussion. I'm sure we will a little bit, but I'll bet you and I have the same views on a lot of things.
Let me give you the Reader's Digest version, because I told the Republican Party this. Small government, low taxes. That's me.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't bother me with your social bull. Another bomb. Don't bother me with who's blowing who. I don't care. Don't bother me with weed. Don't bother me with abortion. I don't want to hear about it. So I'm kind of liberal when it comes to that. Actually, more libertarian leaning. Yeah. And so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, well, again, I'm going to get into that a little bit later because I know you're the type of dude that'll have an open discussion, which will be fun.
Yeah.
But dropping bombs is basically we're just going to shoot the shit.
Okay.
There's a lot of people listening. We call them the Bomb Squad. Now, what the Bomb Squad does is shit. I mean, we've got doctors, lawyers, dentists, chiropractors, construction workers. Any hookers? I'll bet you I do have hookers.
Of course you do. You will have now because once we put this out there, I'll have 500 hookers blow it up on social media, and you'll have all kinds of people.
Do it, dude. Because let me tell you what the Bomb Squad is. The Bomb Squad is anybody that's trying to frickin' get more. Just get more. We here at Lightspeed, so you're right, we do other things. We have a virtual training system. So ultimately what we're trying to do is get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. And I thought a podcast is needed for that too. So I bring in cats like you that know what's going on, been around the block, and we just shoot the shit, talk about challenges, problems, situations, and what like you've learned to deal with them. And then people listening can pick shit up and handle their problems.
It's all the same shit, different flies.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, it all comes down to sales and marketing.
Yep.
That's where I am. I'm a marketing genius.
Listen to this shit. You sound like me.
Well,
that's exactly what I say.
There's a lot of great products in the world, okay, that aren't selling very well, and there's some substandard products that sell real well. Why? Yeah. It's who's delivering the message. It's the sales and marketing team. Whether you're a hooker on the street or a preacher or a politician, you're selling something.
Yep. And now let me ask you, how'd you get into this whole business?
The prostitution business.
Yeah.
Well, I started out in Phoenix, Arizona. I was in the gas station business, and as a kid, owned a bunch of them. Moved to Reno, Nevada.
How'd you start the gas station business?
Well, I worked at a gas station when I was going to school, and then the guy it was an alumni guy, and he got me hooked up with. They paid me a lot of money they can't do it anymore, that NCAA stuff. But anyway. So they took good care of me. But I got to know the guys at the oil companies. Said, I want to own a gas station. I don't, I got a chick knocked up. I got a kid on the way. I'm not going to college. I want a gas station. I've worked on cars, bicycles, motorcycles all my life. Built race cars. This is what I want to do. They hooked me up for a few $1,000. I ended up buying one and ended up with a string of them and went to Reno. But when I got to Reno, I took a girl with me from Arizona. Well, she didn't like it there. Girls are a lot like cats. They like the place they live in as much as they like the dog they're living with. And she didn't like it there. So I started dating a girl. A couple months later, I found out she was a hooker. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I blew her off and ran into her a month later because she was the best lay I'd ever had. She ought to be. She'd probably banged 1,000 guys. So she says, be open-minded. Just come out and take a look. I went out to the Moonlight Ranch in Carson City, Nevada, 1976, end of 76, and I was just looking around, learning my way around the place as her boyfriend, and here comes two guys that became my lifelong friends that changed my life. Bob Zamuda, founder of Comic Relief, wrote a couple books, produced the movie Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey, and Andy Kaufman. And so Kaufman and Zamuda and I became the best of friends. In about 78, we used to hang there a lot. And about 70, because my girl used to like to watch me with girls, which was perfect. What a perfect girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so about 78, Kaufman says, Dennis, you're a small businessman. Buy this place. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to change it. We have more fun hanging out than we have having sex, right? Well, we have more fun, a lot more quantity of fun hanging out. Yeah, okay, well, here's the deal. Moonlight Ranch, Dennis Hoff's, world famous, because we will make it famous. Moonlight, and we're going to add Bunny to it. Bunny Ranch. Howard Stern said 1,000 times, Bunny Ranch killed the moonlight, not just sex and adventure. So this business is not about sex. It's about the adventure, about the fun. And so that stuck in my mind, and it took me till Kaufman died in 83 or 4. Cancer, didn't smoke, didn't do drugs, vegetarian. So all you healthy eaters out there, think twice. Let's go have a pizza. So he died in 83 or 4. In fact, at the funeral, none of the Taxi cast was there at the graveside, but there was 3 hookers from the Moonlight Ranch were there. And they came on their own dime out of respect to him. And he loved the girls. He liked to wrestle the girls. So there was that thing on Saturday Night Live, which some of your audience is probably too young to know about, but Kaufman wrestled people on Saturday Night Live. And it was a big deal. Him, Jerry Lawler, and he challenged women. Women are inferior. I'll do this, I'll do that. Just riling up everybody. But he loved to do that. So he'd come to the ranch. He'd pick 2 girls. I'd wear a referee outfit. I still got it. It's kind of tight on me. And he'd wrestle the 2 girls. One would wear a black leotard, one a white one, and they'd wrestle each other. The winner would get to wrestle Andy in the finals and have sex with him. And he was very generous, took care of the girls, but he loved the girls. He'd bring Mia Farrow, not Mia Farrow, Constance, I think her name is, the sister, Mia Farrow. He'd bring her in to do meditation, to teach the girls meditation. He loved the girls. He loved to wrestle them. It was a place he could be real And by the way, you can, and I can, and everybody else, because you can be who you want to be at the ranch. Nobody's going to judge you. You want to wear Depends and a lampshade and get beat with a bullwhip? Yeah, bring it. Whatever you want to do, you can do. And that's what Andy felt like, that he didn't have the world looking down his shoulders, judging him, waiting for him to be funny and tell a joke. He could just be himself.
Yeah. Well, then that was in 84?
Well, no, we started this in 76, end of 76. He died in 83 or 84. I'm spacing on it.
How did you have the loot?
Well, I started with gas stations.
So you saved money from gas stations?
Saved money from gas stations. But when I moved to Reno, you didn't have to be a genius to make money in real estate. You buy something, and a year later you double it. I mean, it's really that simple.
Right.
So we all thought we were geniuses. We were buying property, selling them, making money. So then I got in the real estate business. And I thought, well, how am I going to find clients? Because that's all real estate is. You got to find the buyers. Mm-hmm. Sellers are easy. Okay. So I put together a lecture company, and I went to Southeast Asia. Every 3 months, I'd be gone a month, Southeast Asia, and I would give lectures, and I'd work with investors to bring money in. So that's how I made the money to get into something legit like prostitution.
How did you know to do all this? Was it just like opportunity? You were recognizing opportunity?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. I'm just a driven guy, I just driven like right now. People are saying, Dennis, are you going to do anything else? You're going to be in the legislature. Are you going to? Well, I don't know, but now I think about it. Yeah, Roger Stone saying you're going to be the next governor. When Roger Stone came out to Pimp, he says, "Hey, this legislature, this is way beneath this guy. He's your next governor. Get it down." Well,
based on what you're saying, I'll vote for you because let me tell you something. You tell the truth and you keep it real.
Yeah.
And if you ever go, investigate me, that's what people will tell you.
Well, I'm going to investigate you now, and especially when you email me and I get some information. But what works with television, what works with radio, is be real. We always tell the girls, don't try to be a fucking actress. Excuse me. You don't be an actress. You're not an actress. Just be you. That's what makes it work.
Yeah.
And that's what people love about me and my bitch, my best friend. And I would never call a girl a bitch unless I'm slapping her ass in bed. But my bitch is Ron Jeremy. And that's what they love about me and Ronnie. We're real. We're going to have just as much fun in the back of the restaurant in New York with Juan and Jorge and everybody else as we will in the front with the owners and the celebrities.
Yeah.
And we don't give a damn. All we like is real people that are having fun. And that's what my life's about, is having fun.
Dude, how old are you?
Well, a man is as old as the girl he slept with, and I'm 27 today.
Okay.
And I had to take the edge off because
you'll be 24 in a couple hours.
Oh no, I'll be 21. I'll be 21 at by the time we get out of here, get to Carson City where I'm going tonight because I got some media tomorrow, and I'm in bed with her. I'll be 21. It'll be 8 hours from now.
You'll be 21 about midnight.
Yeah, I'll put out a tweet with the girl I'm with.
All right.
So I'm going to be 21. So no, the truth is I'm 71, going to be 72. And I never bragged about it. I dropped 15 years, 25 years ago. But now that I'm running for office, you have to be more transparent and tell the truth. But this is the only place it plays because my district is real red and real red libertarian. And it's an older demographic. So being 71 is kind of a value added.
Well, not only that, though, the reason I'd vote for you, I care less how old you are, is you tell the truth. I mean, you already said you smoke a little weed now and again, and these other fuckers are doing it. They're just not admitting it.
Yeah.
Which means they're lying.
I'm not good at smoking. If I'm dating a girl, I'll say blow a little in my mouth. But I'm better at taking a little gummy to go to bed because I've been on a wheel, a treadmill, if you will, for 28 years with this business. Getting up in the morning, doing my first radio shows at 4:30 in the morning, Nevada time, and I work my way across the country. So. And I'm staying out late, so at midnight I've got to go to sleep, so I take a sleeping pill or something, or over-the-counter sleeping pill, put me out, wake up 4.5 hours later. So now I don't do any of that, but I do a little edible, very light, but it just calms me down. It makes me...
Yeah, but can you imagine us having a governor that straight up admits it and goes out and gets laid and hammers 25-year-old chicks?
Oh, yeah. It's 21, excuse me. But who's counting? So, yeah, I mean...
Well, you don't hump the same one over and over, do you?
No.
Didn't you mess with Heidi Fleiss?
Yeah, Heidi was an old F buddy from 30 years.
Yeah,
I had dinner with her last night.
Yeah, but
and she brought a couple lesbian chicks. She brought a couple hot lesbos. These girls are lesbian girls, and I say that jokingly because I have no disrespect for. I don't care who sleeps with who. In fact, I wish every guy was gay, including you, because then there's more girls for me. So I had dinner with her last night.
I'm a lesbian.
I am too, full blown. And I've never hid from that fact. I'll be the first lesbian. Well, I was going to say the first lesbian legislature, but there's probably been a few other ones that didn't want to come out of the closet. So I was with Heidi last night. Heidi and I were buddies, sex buddies 100 years ago. In fact, we're talking about Stearns. So we go on Stern. We got caught by some paparazzi together, and people didn't know that her and I were seeing each other. And this goes back 10, 15 years ago. So we fly to New York. We do Joe Scarborough's show, Tucker Carlson's show, the Today Show, but the first radio interview was Stern. So Stern has Tom Sizemore call in. Well, Sizemore and Heidi were, when she got out of prison, started doing meth, and they were the couple and all that. Well, his life's destroyed, her life's destroyed. So he has him call in, and I'm like, Tom, you're not going to bang her anymore, okay? She don't want any more of this. You beat her. You only beat her to make her happy. If she asks you to beat her, that's one thing, but you beat her up, and she didn't ask you to do it. So anyway, I said, I'll get you laid. Don't worry about it. So Heidi and I just been sex buddies. We were a long time ago. I'm the guy that's always getting her out of jams. I'll be with her next week in L.A. Roger Stone brought out Kristen Davis. Now, you know that name from the Manhattan Madam. And she was the madam that was supplying the girls to Elliot Dirtbag Spitzer, the governor, right? That lost his job over pussy. By the way, Larry Flint did a book, 5-6 years ago, that talks about politicians. He says that a politician life goes upside down every 6 months for the last 30 years, and he names them all. It's a great book. The best things in your life and the worst things in your life is going to be behind hot girls and sex. So anyway, I went on Stern's show, and Howard says, all right, Heidi, this is the king. You know how many chicks he slept with? I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000. So he says, Heidi, you're the Hollywood madam. You're supplying not just dignitaries, but heads of countries, kings. What the hell is your sex life like? And she sits back and she says, Howard, when Dennis is done with me, I don't know whether to call 911 or ask him to marry me. So ever since then, every time I see him, anybody call 911 on you? I said, no, brother, but I had 2 marriage offers, and one of them was real good. We laugh about it.
Let me ask you this: How do you jealousy? How do you deal with that shit?
You can't. You can't, no matter how much they tell you, because I always tell them right up front, here's the deal.
Because you don't date civilians, do you?
No, hell no.
They got to be working girls.
It's tough enough with working girls. First of all, civilians don't know what the hell they're doing. If I hear one more guy tell me, my wife was only with one guy. Oh God, what a bum sex life you've got. Look, if we're gonna build a race car, NASCAR, we're not going to the Nevada School of Driving to get some jerk off to drive our car. We're going to the guy that's ran 1,000 races, right?
Yeah.
Same way with a woman. So stop with that. In fact, in Asia, the value in women is just the opposite. The more experience they have, the more they earn. Where here it's just the opposite. So I don't want to hear any of that crap, because when you tell me you've been with a chick that she's only been with one guy, I'm telling you, you got a bum lay. You got 1,000 bangs just to get her going right. So jealousy, yes. Well, it's true. Yeah, we dropped a big one. Whoa! So yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
It's true, though. Hey,
Jealousy.
well, I don't know if it's true or not, because I haven't been with a chick that had 1,000 bangs yet.
That you know of.
Yeah, that I know of. Good point.
That you know of.
It's a good point.
A girl can knock off 3 or 4 guys a day real easy.
And
they do it.
Yeah, you
show me the straightest soccer mom in town with her Mercedes SUV, and I'll show you some scuzzy biker friend of mine that pulled her over on the road and she blew him. That's just the way. Don't fall for this trick that I'm just with you.
So
honey.
how do you get the jealousy out of you though? Like if you said, "Hey, Brad, bring your wife, come on down," I'd bring my wife, come on down. But if my wife disappeared and I walked in and saw her getting railed,
Was Ron Jeremy?
yeah, I'd be like, "Fuck!" It bothered the shit out of me.
Well,
it's always been a
yeah.
weakness of mine, that jealousy factor. How do you get rid of jealousy? Because you've watched people that you're with get banged, I bet.
Oh yeah, and but that's not really my deal. I always tell them, I say, look, here's how it goes. I want to have an emotional, monogamous relationship with you. I can't promise that this guy down here in my pants, money. I call him Big Money. You know what? You call him money because girls love to blow money.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So you never had a girl that didn't like to blow money, so I call him money. So I'll emotionally be monogamous with you. I can't promise you that I'm going to be physically monogamous, but what I can say is this: the more sex we have, the higher quality sex we have, the more we explore and bring home a girl once in a while, whether that's once a day, once a week, once a month, once a quarter, whatever, throw me some light at the end of the tunnel, the less I'm going to bang other chicks. It's just that simple. You're going to be spoiled to death. You're going to have plenty of money. You can be around lots of celebrities. It's all 5-star everything because of my celebrity and my money. But I'm going to get laid once in a while. I can tell you right up front.
Do you tell them up front? That was my question.
I do. And that's where guys go wrong because these girls, they trick us. And I was tricked. I was 16. Well, if we do this, will I be your girlfriend? Yeah. You know, and it just keeps going from there. And you fall for that one. The next thing you know, well, if we do it without a condom, and it's like they.
So you've never met a girl that you didn't want anyone else touching?
I did prior to getting in this business, but once you get in the business and you understand that and differentiate between love and sex, you can have great sex without being in love. You know that.
Yeah.
You can be in love without having great sex. I mean, it's
not with me.
Okay,
If
not with me either.
If you're with me, you're going to get tore down.
Exactly, and I'm the same way because
get-go.
that's our ego, and that's part of the reason you're successful and I'm successful. Is because that's what we think. But
I still wouldn't want someone else banging my chick, and I need to figure out how to mentally get past it.
Okay, so here's how you do it. First of all,
I don't need to because I want someone to bang my chick, but I need to because I think it's a weakness.
But it is, and I'm glad that you understand that because it's a terrible weakness.
Sure.
But we all go through it. So in my case, I only date working girls, so they're already banging other guys.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother you at all.
So that doesn't bother me at all.
It may be because you're in the business, though, because like if I got a ton of chicks, all of them all day long wanting to bone, whether it's for money or not, they're wanting to bone, and some girl, it releases the leverage because I can tell her, look, I'll fuck with you, but I'm also going to pound these, right? It's easier to say that, but when you're not in the brothel business and there isn't a ton of girls around, you kind of think differently. Like that might be the only piece you get.
Well, you're right, but they're wrong because there's not that many good guys out there. Girls are always asking me, "Well, introduce me to this." Honey, let me tell you how it works. The bigger celebrity they are, the bigger businessman, the richer they are, the more choices they have, and they'll exercise those choices. We're not meant to be monogamous. That's just the bottom line.
How many of those housewives driving around in the Mercedes are getting plowed without their husbands even knowing?
All of them.
Does it happen?
All of them except for your mom.
Except for my wife.
And my mom, and your wife, and my mom, and I'm wondering about my mom. So, but no, it's happening. It's reality.
Oh, it is reality. I always tell people, I have this discussion. I always say, listen, I don't think mine is, but you never know. She could be knocking out the neighbor right now.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't know and may never know.
Exactly.
If they're doing it right.
And that's the worst part of it because you feel like a fool when you find out. So when you do I'm so upfront with them, so honest with them, because that's what they've always told you. Just tell me, Bradley. Please just tell me, Bradley. Don't make people laugh at me. Tell me. Then when you tell them, oh my God, I'm not enough for you. Well, you can't have it both ways, honey. So I tell them up front, and then when they start getting a little jealous, excuse me. We had this talk, remember? Now, do you want to change the ground rules? But it bothers me. What bothers you? that I'm banging another chick, so what? First choice is you're there with me doing her too. That's what I want. So, yeah, we got it. That's a good one.
But it never bothers you. Like, let's say you're doing the best you can, and you can't even freaking like get up in there, and then someone comes in there and makes her feel it behind the lungs.
Well,
and you can't.
Well, they're not going to tell you that.
Yeah, but you can't, and they can. Well, you don't need to tell it if you see some dude.
You see him watching. Yeah, I don't watch him. I don't want to watch. You know, if you want to cheat on me, go cheat on me. But I'm not going to help you.
Right.
I'm not going to. I don't understand swinging. Like, I drive some expensive cars. That's the thing. I spoil my car. So I'm driving an SL65 AMG. Love it. $250,000 Mercedes. I love it. Am I going to take that to a car swapping party? Fuck no. I'm going to go down here to Hertz, and I'm going to rent some decent car. I'm going to take it, and then I'll swap it with some dude at the party. I'm not taking my old lady. She can go out and find dick on her own. I'm not encouraging her to be with other guys except for money. And as far as the money, if she wants to do it for money, great. If she doesn't want to do it, I don't care. I'll take care of you. I can afford you.
All right, so what's the deal out there at that ranch? They go out there, how much they got to give the house?
50%.
50%.
So the way it works is this, and let's just use an even number that's easy to figure out. Guy comes in and spends $500.
Yeah.
The next day, the girl gets $250. Out of that $250, she has to cover her doctor, okay, and her business license, which is $76 a year. Out of my side of it, I cover the drivers, the limos, the bartenders, the maintenance, and all that. So I take out of my 50%. If I end up with 8% after tax, I'm doing good. I'm thrilled to death.
So you spend a lot of it.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole lot of it.
But the deal's 50-50.
50-50 split. That's been how it's been in Nevada. Now,
Is that by law?
No. That's how it's always been. But I changed it around because I put in incentive programs. So every day, the top girl, the top booker, what we call, gets a gift. Every month, they get a nice gift, something $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Or are they booking their own business?
Well, they're independent contractors.
Yeah,
so,
but if you go out to if I walk into your ranch because I've heard of it, that's because of you,
right?
Or your advertising,
right?
I walk in there and pick frickin',
Tiara Tay, 6 foot tall Barbie.
Yeah, if I pick her, it's not her that got me there.
You're right, but
if everyone keeps picking her because she's the hottest, she would win.
Sometimes it's not the hottest. You know what I teach my HR team. We get 1,000 girls a month apply.
No shit.
1,000 a month, yeah. I turn on my phone.
I need to go through pictures, make sure my wife ain't been out there. No, I'm messing.
What's her name?
Melissa.
Yeah, I did her.
Yeah.
No, just teasing. So
I said Dennis was coming on. She said, "Oh," she got all nervous.
Dennis who? Anyway, we get 1,000 girls a month apply. HR works on them. But what I tell them is, look, you give me an 18-year-old, perfect body, perfect looks, 18. I take her right to Penthouse, right to Larry Flint, used to Hefner, because he was a good friend. She'll make money. Give me a 38-year-old with an extra 25 pounds on her, 6 broken relationships, 3 kids, but she worked as a cosmetic lady at Neiman Marcus, or she was a bartender somewhere. Somebody with people skills, personality, and the desire to succeed are more important than anything. And anybody that's out there that's in the sales, yeah, absolutely. Any of the people that are out there in the sales business, they need to remember that. It's people skills, personality, and the desire to win. That's the money maker. And
no matter what business you're in.
No matter what you're. See, I lecture at different things. Guys, companies will call me, car dealers, just different things, and I'll go out and lecture to them. Sales is sales. I mean, it's like.
Well, some are easier than others, though. I mean, you're selling pussy.
I'm selling pussy, but
that's pretty easy to sell.
Well, yeah, it is, because we all want it. But how do you to keep that going? There's not an endless supply of clients that want to come to the place immediately. I've got to go out and cultivate that. I got to do sales and marketing to get them to the place. Then from then on, it's a customer service issue. That girl has to retain them, or if she doesn't want to retain them, get somebody else that wants to retain them, because where the big money comes is long-term relationships.
Going back over and over.
Exactly. It's no different than a nail salon or a beauty salon.
So you got customers, repeat customers, all like for years.
Oh, forever. I had a guy in there. He was 91. I saw him like 3 or 4 days ago. Came in. Said, I don't want to pick a girl. I'm going to the bar. He said, give me some soda. He said, I'm going to take this Viagra and I'll be hard as Chinese arithmetic in an hour. But until then, I want to talk to some girls. And he says, Dennis, I've been coming there since the 60s. I'm like, really? Hell yeah. I say, since the 60s. That's how long this guy's coming there. But it's a place you can be yourself and you can try things. You know, what happens a lot of times, like threesomes, like if Family Feud as a sexual activity thing about their favorite sexual things, it's always a threesome for a man. I'm with a girl. Every girl I look at, I think I strip her down. I think what they'd be like together. I can see them with double-headed dildos and doing this and what I'm doing to them, and it just goes through my mind. So everybody's fantasy is a threesome. Okay. Now
Even girls.
Oh, exactly. But guys don't have the nerve to pull out a Penthouse magazine and say, look at these two girls interacting. You know what, honey? I love you so much, and I hope I'm a good father to our children, but someday I want to see you with a girl. That would turn me on. That's the sales pitch. And then it's like, you'd do that for me, wouldn't you? They will if you ask them, but they don't want to ask them because we hook up with these girls, we put them up on these fucking pedestals, okay, and make them such princesses. Then it's hard to make them the dirty little whore that you really want when your kids aren't around. So,
not to mention, then they fall for some other dude that actually did do that.
The biker dude, it pulls her over in her minivan. So he comes to the ranch and has a threesome with Tierra Tay, and I mentioned her before, but 6 foot tall blonde, and a girl named Bobby Bezos, a beautiful Cuban girl with monster breasts. So he has that. While his wife is doing the same thing with their tennis pro and her boyfriend, his boyfriend. So it's communication, and that's what couples go wrong. And so now, when I bought the place in 92, first thing I did, take that sign down that says Moonlight Ranch, men only. No, wives will come in. That's on them. That's their problem. I want women as customers. They won't come in. Well, now about 12% of our business is women or couples, and it's good business.
Yeah. It's probably helping out marriages.
No, there's no question about it. I hear it all the time. Dennis, I couldn't stay married. Well, I experienced this. So I was making a lot of money doing some resort development. And so I had this girl that I lived with. We lived in Tahoe in the summer, Palm Springs in the winter. So I went down to do this project with SeaWorld and Swiss Airlines in Orlando. And so I would fly in there and do my deal for like 10 days, and I'd come home for 4 days, and she'd be either in Tahoe or Palm Springs. So when she's in Tahoe, I had a 5 o'clock a flight that arrived at 5 and one that arrived at 10. I would tell her I'm taking the 10. I would arrive at 5 o'clock in Reno. The driver would take me out to the ranch. I'd drink a cup of coffee. I'd bang one of the girls. I'd come out and interact with them for an hour or two, bang another one. I'd go home, and I'd want to do my old lady even more. That's how crazy we are, because we need that new. It's like that new car smell when you get in that new Mercedes or Ferrari. You know that new car smell. The girls have it with shoes. They put on their Louis Vuitton shoes or the Jimmy Choos.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's that new pussy, and so that kept me going with that girl for probably 3 or 4 years, or we would have broke up. But I hear it all the time. The other thing I hear is guys, you know what? I worked my ass off, lost $100 million in a divorce. I'm never banging a chick unless it's right here from now on. Good for you. It's smart because even rock stars and people that can get laid whenever they want, they have to be very careful because girls want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
They end up giving them a disease. They out him to National Enquirer that he's like Big Dick Bradley or Little Dick Lee. And so they tell things about him. It's a brutal world out there with this Me Too stuff going on.
Little Dick Lee. That's a good one. I'm gonna start going by that.
So yeah, with this Me Too stuff going, you got to be very careful.
Yeah.
And if you got anything, and you can't go to illegal hooker because they're gonna. You know what gets me is there's so much crime behind illegal prostitution. And guys, well, she stole my Rolex watch. Or she did this. She got my number in my house and called my wife. Dude, you're dealing with a criminal, and you expected a good result? Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, what if they made prostitution legal? Like no rules, just you some dude will pay you and you want to let him, or vice versa. Some girl will pay you. Go ahead, dude, nail her.
What if they said doctors didn't need a license? They could practice in their garage and do tit jobs. You know, it's the same thing. You got to have controls. Prohibition didn't work with liquor.
Yeah.
Now they put $6 billion a year into the federal coffer. They got age restrictions, distribution, quality control. You need that on anything. Same thing with weed. Look at the weed in Nevada. The weed dealers are gone for the most part. Now the weed guys are into underage sex trafficking. A lot of those kids that come across the border, that's what it's about. And heroin distribution, because marijuana is not legal enough anymore. So when you take the criminal aspect out of it and you legalize the business, it always works. The numbers racket. Mafia made zillions off the numbers racket. Now it's California Lotto Super Powerball. The money supposedly goes to the kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. Prohibition does not work, and it's never going to work.
So if you were an entrepreneur, you had to do it all over again. You had to do everything all over again. What are like some things that you would have that you could tell people that are out there struggling? Because there's a lot of people with excuses. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's easy for you to say, Dennis. It's easy for you to say, no.
Excuse me, I was working at a fucking Dairy Queen when I was 8 years old. I was the best parking lot sweeper they ever had. I was delivering newspapers. I was on the newspaper hit team, going out and selling subscriptions. No, you know, first of all, it's work. It's work. I work hard. Yeah, I work hard every day, and the harder I work, you know what they tell me every day? Boy, you're so lucky. Yeah, and the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Seems that way, doesn't it?
It's not seems, it is. So I work hard. I tell people I'm not any smarter than anybody else. I just work harder, and I got good work ethic, and I'm a good salesman. And in fact, on my tombstone, if it says world's greatest friend, fought sex trafficking, and world's greatest salesman, I've sold the world like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton sold the world that blowjobs aren't sex. I sold the world that selling sex is okay. In my book, In the Art of the Pimp, Bob Zamuda wrote it. He said there's 4 people that changed sexual attitudes in America in the last century: Masters and Johnson, Kinsey's, Hefner, and Hoff. Whether you like it or not, those 4 people have changed sexual attitudes. I've made it okay. I've taken the legal sex business from guilt and shame to glamour and fame. My girls move on and they become doctors, successful business people. I've got a girl named Alice Little, and I want to get her on your show because she's real bright. 4'8", just a little sweetheart. She's going to make $1 million this year. $1 million.
No kidding.
Selling sex, yeah. But it's not about sex. It's about the adventure. Remember what Kaufman said. Dennis Hoff's world-famous Moonlight Bunny Ranch, not just sex and adventure. Sell the adventure. And we tell the girls, don't ever talk about sex at our bar, ever. Don't talk. It's a given. You don't have to say, would you like a blowjob? No, dude, I'm in a place that does that. You don't have to ask that, because a lot of guys, it's more important about the relationship. Because I don't know if you've ever been there, but I'm older than you, and I've been there. I've never been so friggin' lonely in my life as when I was laying next to a chick I didn't want to be with, whether I was married to her, living with her, or just banged her 3 times. I've never been so lonely. And a lot of your listeners are out there right now saying, that's me. I'm lonely in my own home. Because,
well, how do they fix it?
Well, they've got to be honest. They got to try to ramp it up. It's kind of different after you've been with somebody for a long time. But they've got to say, honey, we got to spice this up. Let's have some fun. Let's go different places. Do things. Put on your Betty. I'm going to buy you some Betty Crocker. Come fuck me in the kitchen pumps. I'm leaning you over the butcher block. Do different things. Try different things. Come to the ranch. Try it. These guys will be surprised how much their wives are into having sex with other girls if they just give them the opportunity. But you put them on that pedestal, and they don't want to be the little whore that you want. They want to be the lady that you made out of her. Mm-hmm. And it's so important because
What if you want the lady? Don't bring her out there.
if you want her you want her to be yours?
No, you just want them to be that lady.
Oh, they can be that lady, but not in the bedroom.
Yeah, because like Dave right there, he'd be pissed if his girl went out there.
Well,
I'd be pissed if I found out my girl went out there.
Wait a minute. She went out there with you?
No, just went
And
out
she
there by
said,
herself.
Brad,
By herself.
Brad, you know what? You've been a good guy. And I'm going to treat you. I want to go out to the ranch. I want to go out to the Bunny Ranch or go out to Dennis's place outside of Vegas here, the Love Ranch Vegas. And I want to see if there's a girl there that maybe you can interact with. I don't know whether I'd want to watch or not, but I want to be part of the decision-making process. And the next thing you know, that chick who had never been around a girl before, doesn't like her, she's in there partying with her, and now you got something new, and you got something for the spank bank. You can bring that out with your old lady 10 years later.
Let me ask you: do people come out there and just kind of hang, but they don't participate?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you go just hang at the bar but not participate?
Yes, that's how I changed the business. It used to be get in, get up, get off, get the fuck out of here, because it's typically illegal, and that's how it is worldwide. I changed that. I want people to hang around. I don't care if you party or not.
But do they hang out?
Yes, they come out and they drink.
Are drinks $90 a drink?
No, and I'm glad you asked because I hate that. I hate that more than anything. So what I do every year is I take 4 or 5 of my employees, give them a couple $100, hit every bar in town, casinos, high-end restaurants, beer bars, average out the number, tell me what a beer is worth, tell me what a cocktail is worth. So you can still buy a beer for $4 at my places. I think you can get a call drink, a call cocktail. I don't drink, so I don't know if the terminology is correct, but I think it's a call drink like a Grey Goose or something like that for like $7 or $8.
Yeah.
No, I hate that. I hate admission charges. Strip clubs are the stupidest fucking concept I've ever seen.
So there's no admission charges either.
No, it's like strip clubs. I don't understand it.
You got a lot of locals that live right next to the place?
Yeah. And they come in, they hang out. Some of them do, some of them don't. The brothels are like church and Walmart. Everybody knows where they're at. Everybody knows what's inside. And if you need it, just go on in.
How come you ain't never been out there, Charles?
Well, yes. Oh, excuse me.
He ain't lacing me up, but I hear, you know what I mean? He's October 13th, roughly, birthday-wise. I'm the 13th.
October 13th.
We think a lot.
October 14th is your birthday.
It's my birthday, but the 12th and the 13th is the big party.
That's the cat house crawl.
It's the owner of the Lakers and I party. It's the greatest party you'll ever be to.
Dude, it sounds like it.
It is so much fun.
It's the biggest divorce party in the world.
No, there'll be lots of couples there too.
Yeah, but
lots of celebrities.
But if I went out there with or without, it would be a divorce party.
I doubt it.
That'd be my last party as a married man.
But that tells me you're not having the open communication you should have anyway.
Well, my girl would never,
Of course, not yours.
allow. No, she wouldn't allow me to bang another girl. Period.
Okay, but
She's jealous, and quite frankly, I wouldn't want her to fuck another dude. So we're even on that game.
I am too. I'm the same way. I'd like threesomes, but I don't want 2 dudes. I don't want you and I doing my girl. I like Ron, my bitch Ron Jeremy's always, let's do this. No, dude, I don't want to be that close to you.
That's like sword fighting.
If your balls ever touch mine, I would be in therapy the rest of my life, Ron. Get the fuck away from me. So, no, but
Especially with Ron, isn't he known to have a big old hog leg?
yeah. In fact, I made my book. I made the publisher do my book the exact same length as Ron's dick, 9 3/4 inches, right? And it's great. I should have brought some. I'll get you some.
Unbelievable. See, again, I mean, what if Ron got a hold of my girl, and then now I got to have a mental breakdown because I'm only cracking her with a nice firm 7.
Well,
my girl says, I say, I want some new pussy. You know what she tells me?
go a little deeper.
Yeah, get up there another inch. It's all new. It's all new up there. I don't know. I think it's an insecurity I have. I'd never want anybody to give my girl a dicking, but I wish I could get past it. I still wouldn't let her only because I don't want that. I told you that
earlier. I don't want it either.
But how do you get past it mentally? Because I have angst even talking about it.
You don't promote it. You don't try to get them involved in it. If they want some strange dick, go out and get it yourself.
But you'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be. Like if I found out my girl did that with the neighbor or out at your place, and I found out, I wouldn't be like mad I want to kill her. I'd definitely be single. You know why? Because we made a deal, which it may have been a dumb deal that people make, but we made a deal, and if she told me and I was okay with it, that'd be okay. But if she told me, I wouldn't be okay with it. I'm either going to be single or in a relationship. I'm not doing both.
You guys make the deal under duress. It's a contract you sign under duress. I'm not giving you pussy unless you agree to this. That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's what they do to us.
That's true.
I lived it. I've done it. But no, I don't promote my girls. I don't want to see my girls with somebody else. No.
Do you ever tell them, just don't tell me?
I don't talk about it.
Because the thing is you're smart enough to know it's happening anyway.
But here's what I tell them. But because remember, I'm only dating working girls now. But I tell them, look, I don't want to. I'll never mess around with a girl that's not a working girl, and I'll never develop a relationship from getting pussy, strange pussy, and I mean that. I would never do that. Now, your deal is this. I don't want you sleeping with guys unless you're getting paid for it at the ranch. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's that simple. Now, I'm not going to tell you can't, because you do what you want to do, but I'm going to tell you that I'm going to reevaluate our relationship if I find out that you're doing those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair? Would you like to go forward with this? You don't have a problem you really don't have a problem with me being with another girl, do you? What you really want is make sure your lifestyle doesn't change, and that I don't have an emotional attachment to a girl. Isn't that what you really want? Yeah. But then 2 years down the road, they throw it in your face, and there's an argument because they can't deal with it. They cannot deal with it. No matter as much as they tell you.
If you let them start fucking, pretty soon they'll want to start kissing.
Drop the bomb. Hey,
fucking leads to kissing.
Yes, exactly.
And that's really what I don't want.
And that leads to colds.
Yeah. Well, that's that's right. And that's really what I'm trying to avoid.
You avoid getting a cold.
Yeah, I don't mind if she's banging someone. Just I don't want it leading to kissing and love and all that shit. But let me ask you a question. When it comes to entrepreneurialism, because I've sat here for 51 minutes, by the way, and normally I'll always relate it to entrepreneurialism or helping someone with a problem they may be having. Because let's face it, not a lot of people are having your problems. You've got some good problems to have. Mm-hmm. And I always try to relate what people are saying and guests that have to that. But and I'll try to get to it. But if someone out there is in a relationship that they're not really happy with, male or female, do you think a trip to the ranch might be exactly what the doctor orders?
Well, absolutely. It can be. But whatever it is, whatever it takes you to fix it, you got to fix it. You can't be miserable. Life is too short. You need to be happy and having fun. That's the main thing. If I look around and I see the girl that's having the most fun, she's the one making the most money, she's the one getting the most dick, and making people happy. It's the same way with your relationship. You got to have fun. How can you go out and be successful in your business life when you're not having fun at home or you're not getting laid?
Yeah, it makes it more difficult.
To the level that you want. Or it could be that you're in love, but you want to go to the next level. I want to try a threesome. I want to try anal. I want to do this. I want you to do double backflips as you run down the hall. Whatever it is, wherever the wife and girlfriend leaves off, that's where we pick up. That's where we pick up, and that's what makes me successful.
Yeah. Now, how you before we started talking, you were talking about there was X amount of positions. How many are there?
Oh, I always tell girls, so look, you show me the first 100 positions, I'll show you the next 6. I don't know how many there are.
But my question is how crazy does it get out at those places?
It can get as crazy, whatever your imagination can entail. I'm not into all that. I want to. Here's what I want. I want a girl to have 5 or 6 orgasms before I'm in her, and I want to feel like a hero. We all want to feel like a hero.
Yeah.
And what guys don't understand, and it's a corny joke, but it's real. They need to listen close. A woman's like a frying pan. You got to get them real hot before you put the meat in them. And that's what guys don't do. They don't take the time to get them real hot. I want a girl to have 5 or 6 orgasms. I don't care whether it's a toy, my fingers, my mouth, whatever. I want 5 or 6 orgasms before I'm ever in them, because that's when it gets good.
Yeah, that's the LCM method I was telling old Gray.
Now, what is LCM?
The LCM is the long cock method.
Long cock method, okay?
Yeah, the long cock method is pretty simple, man. It's basically all about the tease for a long time, And then when you start getting in there, you only get in there about an inch and a half, and
Right.
and they're like pulling you to try to get you farther in, but you don't.
Right.
And until they're just like literally about ready to kill you over it.
Yep.
And then you just do just one, wow, and then you bring it back out to
Yep.
that deal, and then pow, like this deal.
Yep.
And then after they're literally flipping the fuck out, because that's what they do, then you just start railing them.
Exactly. No, you got it down. That's pretty, for a civilian, you got it down pretty good. But, and a lot of times,
I
what
tell
you
you,
have.
I stumbled across that in high school.
Well, good. Whoever taught you that, I hope that was your English teacher, that she taught you that. So another trick is when you get the girl on top, because I like girls on top. Like I don't like dog style, because I want to look at the chick and I want to see that face and I want to look at them, watch her play with her breasts and all that. So if you go to get them on top and you make them wrap their hand around your dick, so they're only getting half of it or whatever, they love it, because what they enjoy is that big head opening them up, and they go right in an inch and a half. You go at 11 o'clock, inch and a half, 11 o'clock. That's where the G spot. If you put your finger in there, you're gonna feel the corduroy. There's corduroy in there. It feels just like corduroy, and you just beat up that corduroy, and you're right. And after they're coming, then take it to
What if they're grabbing it at the base and there ain't none left? Then you're just fucked.
Well, as long as you got an inch and a half, you get that G spot, you're going to be okay.
Huh? Or date girls with small hands.
Well, the girls say that. Well, I don't like big guys. Well, a lot of them don't. It hurts them.
Most of them don't.
They're small. Some of these girls.
It was
are very
hard for me to
small.
get laid growing up.
So I want a chick that's.
They didn't like that shit.
Exactly. I want a chick that's like, it's like putting a baseball bat in a keyhole. That's so. A girl like that can't take a lot of dick, and she doesn't. Even if she can, she doesn't want it because it doesn't make her that happy.
Yeah.
And so.
Do you think Ron Jeremy has that problem?
No, but Ron, the only problem Ron has is that, and it's nuts because he's in 3 or 4 girls a day. He can't ejaculate because there's not enough to do that. I'm always saying, dude, you're gonna fucking blow up. No wonder you're so fat. You're gonna fucking blow up.
Does he still do porn?
Oh yeah, he does everything. Ron's the king. He's the Michael Jordan of dick. I mean, he's.
Do you think it takes a certain kind? Like a horn dog. Like I know friends of mine that literally think about getting laid constantly. Then there's guys more like me that, when you grow up in a candy store, candy's not that special anymore.
Well, it's an interesting question. I don't think you got to be overly horny. You just got to be around the right girl that stimulates you, or different girls. That's variety. The variety is what's. It's like when you go out of town and you get a rental car. It's not as good as what you have at home, but it feels kind of nice. It's new. It's different, right?
Well, it's just you might have just touched on the variety part. It's like because I can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days not even thinking about it.
Right.
I come to work, go home, play with the kids. It's bedtime. I don't even think, man, I better get some. Yeah, I could go 2 weeks. I've went 3 or 4 weeks.
Sure.
Without even thinking about it.
We all have.
And that's what I mean by I'm not real horny. But I know friends of mine that do every single day. That's all they're thinking about. Now, do you think that is a type of person?
Yeah. Well, it is, but it's also just the situation you're in. It's like if. Typically, a guy, if I had to guess, I'd say a guy that's been married more than 3 years, it's hard for him to bang his old lady more than 2 or 3 times a week.
Because out of boredom?
Well, you've just been there, done that. When you first hooked up with her, you were banging her 3 or 4 times a day. So, guys, well, I can't do it like I used to. Yeah, you can, if with a different girl. Check my girls out. This is Levitra. This is Viagra. This is Cialis. These girls are ED medicine. Strange, but it's ED medicine. Take it to the bank.
Obviously, it's sold out at the ranches.
Rented.
Yes,
nice. It's a short-term rental program.
So anybody that's having issues that don't want to go out there and get only stuck doing once.
I hear guys all the time. I can't get it up anymore. Dude, you don't have the right girl. You've been with that chick so long. It's just boring stuff. It's like, what's your favorite food?
Probably steak.
Yeah, I like steaks too. But try eating 3 or 4 of them a day for the next 10 years.
Yeah, it gets old quick.
Real quick. You want some sushi?
You damn straight. I like sushi too. So let me ask you a question, Dennis. Okay. You're running for legislature.
Yes, sir.
if obviously any bomb squad lives in Nevada, how can we help you win that deal?
Well, I'm fighting the establishment. I equate myself a little bit like Donald Trump. I know half of my district, 36, which runs from up in Logandale, Moapa, down to Providence in Las Vegas, north past Tonopah up to Round Mountain and all that. I can drive 7 hours, be in my district. Half of them hate me. It's the Democrats because I'm a Republican. Although, if they take the time to understand that I've been an independent all my life, so I'm more about that. So I understand that. But now that I'm seeing is the establishment. The establishment, like Roger Stone said, I put a turd in their punch bowl at their Christmas party. They don't know how to deal with me. They can't buy me. Here's what they did. They came out last week and said, well, we're going to give Dennis the worst office in the legislature. And they call it the Ed Goodhart office. He's a great guy. He's a good friend of mine. But they put him in this shit office because they couldn't get him to play ball. He didn't want to be the pay-for-play guy. He wanted to do good for the district. So they put him in this office. Okay, you're going to put me in that office? Great. So we get a big Prevost Motley Crue bus, put all the lettering on it. Dude, this is my office now. My office, this will be parked. You can keep that office. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. I don't want it because I will take my bus. I'll have it parked out in front, and everybody will know it's mine. And guess what? We're going to be serving liquor from 8 in the morning till midnight. You're going to have pretty girls in suits giving you massaging your shoulders so you'll listen to what I got to say to you, be receptive to what my thoughts are, and it's going to be the party place. Fuck you. And so how do you deal with a guy that has money that can't be bought and has media connections all over the world? I'm tough to deal with.
Well, as long as that guy has integrity.
That's right.
You elect him. That's what you do.
But they don't. But remember, I'm fighting the establishment, and I'm fighting the Democrats too. Although I'm not sure about the Democrats because the way I'm going to appeal to them is: look, your party is about big government, high taxes. You, as an individual, as a plumber, I don't think you like high taxes. I think you're like me. So your party might think that way, but you're as an individual. So I think I'm going to reach out to them and say, because the Republicans have been giving me so much crap, the caucus guy, Jim Wheeler, piece of shit. You get Kevin Wall, radio guy here in town. Laxalt goes on the show. They fed him the question, are you going to support Dennis Hoff? They fed it to him. It wasn't Kevin's idea, and he says, no, family values, bullshit, okay? I wish I could out every one of those legislators and attorney generals and all the people over the years I've seen in 28 years coming to the ranch, and who brought them there, the special interest group, the paid girls to tie them up and beat the shit out of them and all that. I wish I could out them all, but I can't.
Well, that's what I meant earlier when I said, at least you're telling the truth.
Exactly. I'm going to tell it exactly like it is.
And that's who you want in there. And people don't realize that, though.
That's what the voters want. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump does at all, but I can tell you this: the guy's got some balls. He told us what he was going to do, and he's done a lot of it. The stock market raging.
Yeah. Like when they were worried about him saying, you grab him by the pussy.
Exactly.
Well, first of all, you heard the tape?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
I know Billy Bush very well.
Okay,
Billy Bush is the victim. He's the fucking victim of this whole thing. Billy Bush is a good man. He lost his job, and NBC needs to fuck themselves.
Yeah, well, first of all, the tapes I heard, at least from the media, told me Donald was simply bragging to Billy that now that you're a celebrity, you got a bunch of money, you basically don't even have to, do anything. You can just walk up and grab him by the pussy.
Exactly.
And then he's laughing because he's trying to befriend and buddy up with him, which guys do. That's why Donald says his locker room talk.
Yeah.
Which is what it was. And then everybody goes crazy. Why?
But here's what they said. This is what they said. The women will never vote for Donald Trump because of that.
But they did.
And they went behind that curtain. Guess what? I want a real man. And that's what they did with Hoff. They said, oh, my God, he's a brothel owner. He does this. He's had a girl sell her virginity at the ranch. And
how much did it go for?
A lot. And there's so many girls that want to do it. It's shocking. I don't even mess with it too much anymore because it's a pain in the ass. And then I end up wanting to bang them. And so anyhow, they said that about me. And then, guess what? They got in the voting booth. No, I want a guy that's honest, that can't be bought, can't be broken. The church groups, or came out. Reuters did this great piece about why the church groups were voting for me. Because I'm a real man. I'm a guy that's going to make shit happen. I'm not going to sit by and let stuff happen. I'm going to make stuff happen, and I'm going to argue with people, and I'm going to out people that need to be outed up there. I'm going to be the truth teller, and that's what Roger Stone and Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform, the tax-fighting champion of the world, came to Pahrump to support me. I was with him 2 days ago here at Freedom Fest. I spoke at his event at Freedom Fest. It took a lot of nerve for a Grover Norquist or a Roger Stone to to endorse me.
They know you though, don't they?
They know me.
That's why though.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. They know me, and they know that I'm not messing around, and it's not a publicity stunt, and that I'm going to go up there and I'm going to do my job. And Roger told everybody, get over it. He's going to be governor.
Isn't that what Trump's doing?
Yep.
That's what I think.
He's doing his job. And I don't like everything he does. I don't like some of the stuff he does with his Twitter. But I can tell you what, Little Kim, he's paying attention. When Little Kim is scared enough to go across the street and meet with the South Koreans and buddy up with them, Trump did that. He didn't just wake up one, I want to be friends with my South Korean brothers. Bullshit. Donald Trump's like, dude, we're going to come for you. It's not going to be fun. And so that's what we need is people like that.
Yeah.
And like he's over there, they're saying, well, he's shaking up Europe and all. Yeah, pay your fair share. I didn't realize these people we're paying the mother load on this NATO thing. I didn't know that. I'm oblivious to it. So pay your fair share.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it at all.
That's the way it should be. And I think he's outing people, as you call it. He's basically saying, hey, Russia, you're controlling Germany. That ain't right. Hey, you're doing this. That ain't right. And everyone's saying, look at dickhead Trump over there stirring up the world, getting everyone to hate us even more.
That's what I'm doing, because I'm not going to put up with their nonsense. Like the BLM, Fish and Game did something real dirty to a church group out there where I'm at, and I'm after them.
What'd they do?
They came in, had verified water rights since the 1880s there. They wanted to buy it's out there where that pup fish is and the Ash Meadows. And so they tried to buy their property. They wouldn't sell it to them, and all of a sudden they cut their water off, destroyed their property. 7 years they've been going back and forth in litigation. Well, guess what? I'm taking it to a higher level because I'm with Grover Norquist, and I'm saying, Grover, I want to be a hero. I want you to be a hero. So here's the deal. This Patch of Heaven church camp is going to be another Hammonds in Oregon. It's going to be another Bundy. People are going to get killed. This thing's heating up quick. And he's like, wait, Dennis, how can we fix it? You get me in front of Zinke, the head of the Department of the Interior. We'll jump right above BLM and Fish and Game and go right to Zinke, the head of the Interior, and say, dude, you got a problem here. I can help you fix it. Give these people their friggin' water back, and let's move on. Or offer them a real price for their property, because if not, you're going to have me out there on a backhoe. You're going to have the Bundys out there on a backhoe, and we're not fucking around. You either have to play right or suffer the consequences. And so once I get to this head of the Interior, I'm telling you, this whole thing will be fixed. I'll come back here and tell you how we fixed it. It's going to come down like the way it should, but it takes people with balls. People, like, I'm never going to make a decision in the assembly based on who's going to put money in my pocket or whether it's going to be popular or I might lose my job in the next election. Screw that. I'm going to do what's right and now. And what's good for my people.
Which is what you should do.
Exactly. It's such a simple concept.
But, like Fish and Wildlife, by the way, they came to my house one time, snatched my piranhas. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to have piranhas. I moved down here with piranhas. They came and snatched my piranhas out of my house and literally had almost more rights. Fish and Wildlife had more rights than, like, police officers.
Yeah.
So they damn near broke down my door if I didn't get there in time. They just knocked. And right when I was opening it, they were about ready to kick in my door because there was a rumor that I had piranhas, which when I opened it up, they're like, all right, you got piranhas? And they were coming in, like, without even asking. I said, yeah, I've got 5 of them. And they said, you can't have these piranhas. They snatched them, took them, killed them, or they froze them to verify their piranhas, killed them, took my fishing license for a year and made me pay a bunch of money. I'm thinking, how in the hell is this even possible in a free country?
They just walk. They knock. They send you a letter. Say, "Do you have piranhas?" Or knock on your door. Say, "You got piranhas?" Say, "We got to work this out. You can't have them. Let's figure out where you can get them a home. Maybe you want to send them to another state where it's legal or whatever."
Yeah, or you got 30 days to get rid of them.
Exactly. You got to get this done. That's how business should be done.
What about this media that has a problem? Because when I see certain media, they're telling me Trump's over there making frickin' deals with North Korea, which is unbelievable. This is the most unbelievable historic shit ever. And then the very next channel says, "Oh, he's over there fucking shit up, acting like he's fixing shit." And it's hard to know because I'm not in Korea. I didn't go with him. How do you know who to believe?
Well, the reality is that CNN, you can't believe anything they're saying anymore. That's sad. And NBC's fallen in line. Like, I always looked at NBC as being kind of neutral. No, they're not doing it anymore. And Fox, of course, is so far the other way. But it's kind of sad when Fox is probably the best news you can get right now. I mean,
do you say that because you love Trump, or this is my point? Like,
I think they
what's
read
the
it right.
truth?
I think Fox is more about the truth. Now, do they slant it towards the right? Hell, yes, they do.
Well, if you end up getting high up in government, make sure you do one thing, and that is try to outlaw lies. Like, if the news says something and it's not true,
go after them.
They should be put in jail. They should be put out of business. Something should happen. Like, in other words, if I hear it on the media, I should be able to know that whatever was said was fact.
Exactly. Or they should lose their damn FCC license, because you and I are the ones that are paying for all that.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of money, but they couldn't do it without these licenses. And they need to be honorable. They need to be factual. Another thing
and it's their responsibility to vet the shit to make sure it's right.
Exactly. Look at who's that guy? I'm spacing on. Lost his job with CBS. Dan Rather, just because they didn't vet it properly. That's how it should be. And it's the same way with libel and slander. When you have celebrity, people can take shots at you. When you have celebrity like a Donald Trump and you're running for office or in office, it opens the doors. They can do anything they want to you. I've been with the top defamation people in the country over this. You're a celebrity, now you're running for office. It's a tough one. And you know what I tell them? I don't give a shit. I don't care if I lose. It's the principle of it. You're not going to motherfuck me. You're not going to lie about me. You're not going to say I raped this girl, I harassed this girl, I'm a drug dealer, I'm a sex trafficker. Fuck you. I'm coming for you. And whether I win or lose. And that's the way it should be. And Trump needs to change that. The other thing I like about Trump is that he's got the balls to stand up and say, you know what, Obama, you and your liberal court convicted Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Arizona. I'm pardoning him right now. He just pardoned somebody else, the Hammonds.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? That's what you should do.
That's what he should do.
It's exactly what you should do. So I think...
Well, as governor, you'll be able to do some pardoning.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Just state problems.
Go get yourself in a little trouble just so I can pardon you.
All right. Well, get to be governor. I'll figure out something.
Oh, that's great. You're a fun guy. You're a fun guy. I can see why you're successful, and I love your show. And you're right, it's real, and that's what you put it out real today. I put it out real today. I probably use more profanity today than I have in the last 10 years on a radio show, but I just felt like I could be real with you.
Yeah, well, you can. And, if people stop listening because of that, well, then they shouldn't be fucking listening to me.
Exactly.
To begin with.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, I don't know what I am politically. I know that I'm a little Republican here, a little Democrat there. It just depends.
Try this.
But what I am, I'm a constitutionalist, and I'm a fucking common sense practitioner. Like, it's common sense shit. Like abortions, when you say, I don't bring it to me, you can bring it to me because, to me, all these things that could get me hated, it's just common sense. Like, if I'm a girl and I get knocked up and it's like embryo, tadpole level, and I decide I don't want it for whatever reason and I get rid of it, well, yes, it's sad. Boo-hoo, that would have been a baby. But then at the end of the day, it's my body and I'm a human being. Well, so is that. A tadpole is a human being?
Yeah, I'm the one that's going to have to deal with looking at this kid for 25 years when I got raped by this.
Yeah, or I have to pay for it.
Exactly.
Because if you have a kid as a girl, right, now I got child support to pay. So if abortion's a big problem, I need to hear all the facts before I'd make a decision. That's just one, again, quick one. But then the border, like I don't think we should build a wall. I think we should just take Mexico.
There you go.
I mean, I can't.
Well, so I consider myself, and I think you, listening to you, a conservatarian. So I'm very conservative on small government and low taxes.
That's the bottom line, right?
But
there.
I'm a libertarian when it comes to a lot of this other stuff. That's what Nevada's about.
Is that what they're called, libertarians?
Well, I think
always
so.
say Democrat or Republican.
I think Nevada is more libertarian, although they vote.
What do Republicans say about abortion?
Don't do it. They don't like it. Da da da. But the modern Republican is like live and let live. The Nevada Republican.
Well,
not modern.
Don't do it at some point. Like
Well,
if
why
you're
don't you instead of outlawing abortion, let's start teaching sex education better. Like Europe years ago started teaching them how to give blowjobs.
True.
Yeah, because all we want to do is get off.
But at the
I
end
don't
of
care where it's at. I don't care if it's their butt. I don't care where it's at. Just let me get off.
What about the wall?
Well, the wall. Look, I started voting in I think it was 81 or 82. Ronald Reagan. I was a young businessman, millionaire. Couldn't get any money. The interest rates were 22%, and you couldn't borrow it. So I voted for Reagan. But what Reagan said was, Reagan says, let's meld in this million immigrants that are here illegally into our society, get them working legally and do the right thing, make them honorable, and then we'll lock down the wall, lock down the borders. Well, he didn't lock it down. So where does it end?
I think you should. I believe it or not, I think you should take, with their permission, of course, take Mexico. Because they all want to come here, right? Why they all want to come here?
Money.
Opportunity. Mm-hmm. Okay, and a lot of us want to go there, but we don't want to go there because it's Mexico.
Right.
So what if Cancun was like L.A.? Wouldn't you go there?
Yeah.
I'd love to go there. Yeah. I'd move there. I'd move my business there. But I'm not moving it there as Mexico because of their rules and their laws or their lack of
corruption. Yeah.
Yeah, so guess
I've
what?
never been to Cancun where I didn't get jacked up by a cop.
Right, so that's my point. So if Cancun was like L.A., it'd be fucking great there.
Yeah.
And guess what? They would already be there.
Right.
So they don't have to come north. So if we took Mexico, and people always think I'm joking about this, but no, we just take Mexico where now it's no longer Mexico. Now there is no more border problem. Why wouldn't that be a common sense solution?
So you want to take Mexico and then build a wall between California and Nevada to stop all the bullshit. I'm just teasing. I think, yeah, exactly.
Well, if you ever get as president of the United States, remember that you can just take Mexico.
Well, it's funny because you get so scrutinized. It's like, man, they're digging out chicks that I never even messed with to say bad things about me. They pay them. I see what Trump's did. Like I had the lawyers write a letter to NBC. Stop playing that video of me and scumbag Stormy Daniels every 8 seconds. Stop. I'm a Republican. I don't want any association with this bitch at all. And they did it. They actually did it. They found some other video of her. But I don't want to be associated with her. I don't want any part of this chick at all. And I love that she got arrested. They said, well, what do you think about Stormy Daniels? I think she's a scummy bitch. And she says she screwed this guy for free. I doubt it, because all those worn-out porn whores, that's what they do. They go to these golfing events and different race events and look for some guy that they can make some bucks off their ex-notoriety. And then she's got to out him. And she gets $130,000. That's not the way prostitution works. You pay so you don't have to pay to get rid of them. Marriage, you pay, but you have to pay to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And so I think she's just a disgusting pig, and that she's earned the right now to fillet guys for the rest of her life in scuzzy champagne rooms across the country. Yay, Stormy! Be real proud.
That's hilarious. Well, listen, man, I'd love to keep talking to you for longer than this. You've already given me an hour and 17 minutes. You only promised me an hour, so you've over-delivered.
Can I come back?
You definitely can come back. I'm going to have you back, but I'm going to have some prepared questions. You've caused me to want to actually prepare some questions.
Well, let's get your listeners to send in questions and get them, and they can come at me anyway. You know what I told you earlier? I tell Sean Hannity, the harder you get on me, the better I'm going to look, because my business makes perfect sense. And once you get past the sex, the morality issue of it. My business is just like your business.
Except easier to sell.
Well, when I told I ran on a tax platform because this commerce tax, I hated it. So I told people, look, as a businessman, here's what I know. I want to make more money, increase sales, or lower expenses. The end result is the same, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
With the state, it's the same way. Either raise taxes or lower expenses. Well, let me get in there and redline some of these expenses. Let you and I sit down with that budget with some real sharp thinkers, and let's go over this. Oh, fuck you! You're not paying this. We're not doing this. And you watch
Studying the desert wildflower out in Winnemucca.
Yeah, who gives a shit? I want a pupfish sandwich.
Well, I'm definitely going to have you back. Folks,
Thank
listen,
you.
Go out there and make sure you vote. If you're in Nevada.
DennisHoff.com. Yeah, check it out. See what I'm really about. Go to DennisHoff.com. If you're into the sex side of it, go to BunnyRanch.com, or it'll lead you to all the other brothels, and you'll see what I'm really about.
Is the cat house crawl public?
Yeah.
So, folks, if you guys want to come out to the biggest party on earth, go out to, where is that, Carson City?
Carson City, yep, the Bunny Ranch, and I have a restaurant and nightclub also, and it's going to be a fun time. But I want you to be there, and bring your wife too. People say, well, my wife wouldn't. No, your wife will love it more than anybody, and those girls will be your best friends. These are the girls. This is not your daddy's old cat house. These are the girls you wish were living next door to you.
Yeah. Well, my girl's cool. Cooler than I made her out to be. I was just trying to get to a point of
Is this the part in the movie where we get Mexican food? Because I'm hungry.
That's right. Folks, follow Dennis Hoff. Go to DennisHoff.com. Appreciate you listening. Until next time, thanks for listening to Dropping Bombs.
Ain't no business like hoe business. We do it? We good? You're a good interviewer. You're a smart guy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you are.